These are not white-sided dolphin. We want to talk about that species in particular for a second because Captain Ricky Perez of the Horizon was recently out on Cortez Bank where he was catching big bonita and bluefin tuna. He said that 10 to 15-pound bluefin and the bonita were getting gobbled up by white-sided dolphin. These critters are real predators, and it was amazing to see, said Ricky. He talked to Merritt McRae from Western Outdoor News, and Captain Merritt McRae said they can suck a bluefin tuna down like a gumdrop. I love it. Really, really highly intelligent creatures. They followed the boat from spot to spot, and Ricky said, man, they're way too fast for me to lose them. So really interesting stuff. White-sided dolphin, predators, gobbling up bluefin tuna and bonita. Really interesting stuff that we as fishermen get
Hey, everybody,
to see.
remember the boat that washed up behind the morning briefing yesterday? Here it is. I thought I'd give you a look on this absolutely gorgeous morning. Man, it is flat, calm, beautiful weather here this morning. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of birds picking around here, which might be an indication that surf fishing might be pretty good. Beautiful morning, but here it is, the vessel that washed up on the beach in Surfside, California. I thought I'd give a look before we start the morning briefing.
Check out the wide open bonito fishing on the Venice Pier today for the guys from the Sharking crew. Jaime Valdovinos is having a great time with all of his friends. And while those may look like mackerel coming over the rail, they are indeed bonito. Great eating, hard fighting, a gateway fish. So many of us got hooked on fishing while fishing for the bonito many years ago. Wonderful, beautiful day on the Venice Pier. Get out and catch some.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. Look at this pristine ocean. Flat, calm, gorgeous. A day after a tropical storm blew through here. Wasn't much at all in Surfside, California. I know some others were affected by it, but it is flat, gorgeous here this morning. I mean, beautiful. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it or hear it, but there's been a lot of birds picking here in the surf early this morning. An indication that there's A, bait here, and B, predators right behind it. Man, I'll tell you, we have got so much to cover with you. I know we're coming out of a day where there were very few boats out, but we've got some intel for you. Look out. There will be yellowfin tuna caught today, and there will be yellowtail on the kelps if it holds up. Man, I've got some really great news from the Independence on fish very close to San Diego. Man, it is starting to play out exactly how we thought it might. There's so much albacore information floating around. Is it real? Is it not real? Guys are posting as if they're catching albacore out of San Diego. We'll delve into that a little bit, including Fishworks. They posted a video this morning at 5:30, showed albacore all over the deck and then focused in on a shirt. The legend. Was the legend catching albacore? We'll have more on that. Also, great fishing down there in Ensenada, and a special time for Louis Prieto and his daughter. We'll check that out. And of course, you saw the Pegasus. Their meters lit up, and they're already catching fish here this morning. I talked to Jacob Barclay, and he said, Phil, it's gorgeous out here. Perfect weather. It is looking really, really good. Add to that, a great trip on board the Horizon departing August the 31st. It's a 2.5-day trip. They need 10 people to go. They've got 7 right now. You know they're going to get 10, but it sounds like it's going to be an ultra-limited load trip. I'll have details on that and so much more. Hit that like button. Make sure you share these videos with a friend. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You know what time it is, everybody. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning to you all. Oh my God, is that good? And man, do we have some information. But before we go any further, there's a young man out there who I really admire and really love. He's a great kid. I mean, he does well in school. He does great in sports, baseball, and everything else. But he is an extraordinary fisherman. And I get to see it with my own eyes every time I'm at our studio at 22nd Street Landing. It is Benjamin Morrison. Benjamin, good morning to you. I hope you're having a great day. I'm not sure if you're back in school or not, but if you are, I hope you have a great day at school. Make it count. Make those grades count, as your mom and dad tell you to do all the time. But Benjamin, he's down there on the docks, and this kid, I mean, he puts a wallop on the fish every single time I'm down there. Not only on the docks, but he goes out with his dad Mike Morrison, the great manager at 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California. And he catches bluefin tuna, yellowtail, and calico bass, and so much more. I just wanted to start today's show out by recognizing this great young man, Benjamin Morrison. Benjamin, great to have you here on the morning briefing. All right, folks, so much to cover with you. Let's get into it. Hey, I do want to mention over there by Long Beach Sport Fishing, that's where I get my car auto repair work done at Ramirez Auto. Guys over there don't speak the best of English, but man, they do work that is really, really good and at a great price. So you can send them a text and somehow you'll be able to get through the English-Spanish thing with those guys. But if you do give them a call and you speak Spanish, you're good. They'll be able to get through on the English a little bit. Be patient, okay? But say hi to Jose and Josue for me if you give them a call here today. All right, let's start out with that 2.5-day trip. I was talking to Ricky Perez last night, and Ricky, by the way, Ricky was telling me about these white-sided dolphin, okay? White-sided dolphin. And they're incredible because not only are they beautiful and majestic and highly intelligent, but as Merritt McRae from Western Outdoor News says, they'll suck a tuna down like it's a gumdrop. Ricky says he was out on Cortez Bank the other day and they were catching big bonita and also some bluefin tuna, and not the big bluefin, but like the 10, 12, 15 pounders. These things, these white-sided dolphin, were chasing them and taking them worse than a sea lion. I mean, they were voracious. So pretty interesting little dolphin fact for you there. The white-sided dolphin, voracious, and they'll suck a tuna down like it's a gumdrop. I love that, Merritt. That is a good one for sure. Back to that 2.5-day trip, leaving August the 31st. If you'd like to get on that, send Ricky a text this morning, and he'll get back to you with information. You can call him or give him a text, but it is 619-985-5179, departing H&M Landing, August the 31st. The Horizon, we just had that great trip on board the Horizon. You can give Ricky a text or a call and make that trip happen. I think you're going to get out really light. That boat is so comfortable. Ricky's an extraordinary fisherman, and there are so many alternatives and opportunities available to you. All right, Independence. Let's talk Independence because I love what they did yesterday. A lot of boats left yesterday. I know a lot of people were worried about the weather, but it was gorgeous, flat, calm for the most part. Pegasus was another guy. He's in a stop as we are coming to you right now. But the Independence fished fairly close to Point Loma, and they had 90 mixed yellowfin tuna and yellowtail. And the grade, beautiful. The yellowfin, 18 to 30 pounds, nice grade of YFT. But those yellows on the kelps, I mean, there were a few 10 to 12 pounders, but most of it 15 to 25 pounds. That is a superior grade of forky. Beautiful kelp patty yellows out of San Diego. The Independence, beautiful long range boat. They still have some openings here this fall. You better hurry if you're going to get on the Independence. I mean, those spots are not only rare, you usually don't have a season where they have some spots, but they're going to go fast. Independence out of Point Loma Sport Fishing. Nice score for them. A lot of fly line fish for the most part, 25 to 40 pound fluorocarbon. We love www.optionusa.com. Put in FA at checkout. You'll get a free gift when it's all over. And man, I got to tell you, that is some darn good fishing. And many other boats got in on it. And what I was saying, trying to be prophetic, I was saying, man, I'm telling you, guys are going to catch today. I'm talking the San Diego. I'm talking the Grande. I'm talking the Mission Bell. Those full day boats are going to get on it. Those overnight boats are already bit here this morning. They're catching fish. So great stuff going on. And I would still bring that variety of tackle as light as 25 pound in case you run into some finicky fish, and as heavy as, well, I mean, I'd bring the kitchen sink, 100 pound. You never know, man. I mean, there's a lot going on right now. This tropical storm has created an inflow of warmer water and tropical species as we surmised it might, and that is already starting to happen, and it's only going to get better. It's going to be one heck of a late summer and fall, I will tell you that right now. So some really good fishing. I'm projecting in the future, I could be wrong, but I think those full day boats are going to be on that fish shortly as the sun comes up and warms my face. It is gorgeous here. Absolutely beautiful this morning. Don't forget, Tackle Shop Confessions live tonight, 6 p.m. from Island Fishing, tackling beautiful Carson, California, with my dear friend Sam De La Torre. We get to all rub it in about why he didn't show up on that Horizon trip. Man, he missed a really great trip. No doubt about that. All right, so albacore information that's floating around. Fishworks puts up a video this morning, 5:30 a.m. And, you know, it's starting to get like UFO videos. I mean, it's really fast, and you can hardly see what it is. And, oh, my God, that looks like oh, that's a whole bunch of albacore. And then they focus in on the Legend shirt. And, of course, Fishworks, pretty smart move in terms of PR, because it leaves everybody wondering, hey, Legend, is that albacore being taken in San Diego? Is that a big stop on albacore? And because they left it so vague, we don't even know. However, I can tell you, we sent that video out to a forensic lab here this morning. They have a forensic lab on board the Pegasus, in case you didn't know. And one of the lab techs over there, Jacob Barclay, who also is a captain and deckhand, but you didn't know he's a forensic specialist also, he said, you know what? That bait tank in that video is aluminum, and on the Legend, they have like a normal white bait tank. I don't think that's the Legend. So, is it San Diego fish? I doubt it, but who knows? Smart publicity move by Fishworks. I'm guessing it's Fort Bragg fishing. There's a guy wearing a Legend t-shirt on board that trip. I haven't heard anything. I've talked to several boys in the fleet so far here this morning, and there's other stuff floating around, private boaters catching albacore, you know, 20 on one boat, but I'm not biting on it quite yet. I'm holding off. I'd love my prediction to come true, but it seems very dicey to me the way everything is being presented. All right, down there in San Diego, the Tanner Bank region, we'll be checking on that. Independence and Pegasus looked at it last night. Both boats did not catch much bluefin tuna at night. We'll just have to see if we need to relocate that fish after that storm blew through, and we'll be watching that very closely. Still want to bring that 100 to 130 pound spectra. That's very important to your success. 200 pound leaders, 300 400 gram lures. I suspect that it's going to be 300s now. It's gorgeous, and it's flat calm all the way to Tanner right now, where there has been some spectacular fishing. We'll see if that resumes here. It looks like we've got some good fishing already on the Pegasus, but that fish out there, it is hit and miss. One day they bite, next day they don't so much. But again, 25 to 40 pound. If you can edge toward that 40 pound fluoro and a belly hook bait that you change every 60 seconds. Having said that, sometimes it's a long soak, meaning you leave your bait in the water for a prolonged period of time. When you're doing that, you're nose hooking, because a lot of times you're going to get bit on the slow retrieve. Slowly retrieving your bait, you get picked up and be able to get the hook in a bluefin tuna that way. So you're going to have to be really keen in your observational skills in terms of what is currently going on. And one of the best ways to do that is make friends with a crew member. I say this all the time, but it's so important. Make friends and then look at them and say, hey, long soak, belly hook, you know, what should I do? And in all those cases, the common denominator is going to be choosing a good hot bait and changing that bait regularly. Keep that in mind, and that will indeed help you a lot. So Tanner Bank, we've got local yellowfin tuna, we've got kelp patty, yellowtail, maybe albacore. I doubt that, but there is a lot going on right now. We'll continue to watch it all for you very, very closely here today. It should be a fun day. All right, islands down there around Ensenada. Well, our friend Louis Prieto, he dodged a hurricane like everybody else in Ensenada, and last night he said, you know what, there's a little spot 10 minutes from our beautiful harbor here in Ensenada. I'm going to grab my daughter and my amigo, and we're going to head out there and see what we can do. So he got Angel Garcia himself and his daughter 10 minutes away. They thumped on the sandbags, and as usual with Louis, it's all about his princesa, his little princess, catching fish, which she did. Had a great time at a beautiful sunset in Ensenada. Down there, we've been seeing good mixed bag fishing, barracuda, bonita, sand bass, calico bass. Offshore, now we got the kelps. That is a real deal for the pongeros down there. We've been talking about it. It's a reality. You find the right kelp, you get well in a hurry on big yellows and nice yellowfin tuna. You don't find it, then you have a slow day and you bounce back, catch rockfish and all those species that we just mentioned. So some nice weather and nice fishing going on out of Ensenada. By the way, down there at Cedros Island, things are good. They're back in operation. We've got a guy out there fishing today. We'll bring you some updates on how that bite is. So hopefully they're going to get back into yellows and so much more. in that beautiful little island that took quite a bit of rain and some wind, but they're okay. So that is great news. All right, moving you up the beach on the islands, you know, the Coronado Islands, we had a horrible water temperature drop. We'll get a conditions check here in just a little bit, but even with a 9-degree water temperature drop over the course of the past week, we continue to catch yellows there and some calico bass. You know, fish, when you get that kind of a drop in temp, get lockjaw, they just go off the bite. They are in shock, I guess, and they don't want to chew in that kind of weather, but we'll see. Maybe this is flushed in warm water, and maybe that Coronado Island bite will get going. As it is, it's 5 to 20, 30 yellows per trip over there. There's nothing wrong with that. There's been bluefin tuna not all that far away when you get that nicer, warmer water, and that's down just below the Coronado Island. So there's been that. There's been all kinds of possibilities, and then calico bass and other fish. San Clemente Island, yellowtail, a little bit out there. Some days it's okay. Most of the time you're fighting the sea lions. Other times, mostly calico bass, Catalina, a few yellows, calico bass, but that could all change as this tropical storm changes our oceanography. And when oceanography changes, other species move in. Channel Islands, great rock fishing. Still think we could get some explosions on white sea bass and halibut up there, man. It has been really extraordinary. On the beach, up and down the coast, there's been some great calico bass fishing. We'll see if that resumes in San Diego. It's not at its apex anymore, but it's still pretty good when you go. You want to fish some 12 or 15 pound, 20 if they're biting full speed, but fluorocarbon, choosing a hot bait and drop that test down to 15 to 12, and that'll make all the difference in the world. There's great rock fishing continuing for the local boats there in San Diego and over 300 feet of water, so that continues very well. Up the coast, Dana Wharf and other guys continue to catch really good fishing. Tommy Holland points out that when you get a south swell, the sand bass here and back in the day used to bite full speed. So we'll see what's up with that. We'll see if the City of Long Beach, the Native Sun, the Monte Carlo, all the boys out of 22nd Street Landing, 310-832-8304. We'll see if they get back on it. It's been dropper loop, lighter line. I'd fish 15. And you want to go with that reverse dropper loop, crew members will show you how to tie it up. Good hot Chovy, best of all, nose hook. And man, it's been really, really good. We'll see if that all resumes today. There's been good calico bass fishing, a little bit of barracuda, and always can catch some sculpin and rockfish if all else fails. Moving you up the coast, Redondo, Marina del Rey, rockfish up there in the Channel Islands. Rockfish also with some pretty good calico and sand bass fishing, a few barracuda, halibut, also for boats up there in the Channel Islands, like the Island Spirit with Cody Rogers, Ventura Harbor Sport Fishing, 805-676-3474. They do such a great job customer service-wise, and it is always a pleasure to fish with the boys up there. In the surf, man, I'm telling you, I don't see much kelp in the water. It looks perfect to be throwing a lucky craft and hanging a big halibut. It looks perfect to catch some corvina. I talked to Dennis yesterday. He was here with his lovely wife, Patty. Hey, good morning, Patty. I know you love that rooster crow. He fished here last night and he said, man, it was tough. Didn't hang anything, didn't catch anything. A lot of kelp in the water. Most of that kelp seems to be up on the beach right now. Looks like a nice morning to give this a shot. We'll see corvina in the short water, 6-pound test. You can fish worms, you can fish sand crabs, which you can dig up here. You can go to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in Seal Beach, your surf fishing headquarters, and load up on all of the baits you need. They have them down there every single day for you. They're on the corner of PCH and Seal Beach, and I think you could see some really good surf fishing. I keep threatening, but I have to hit this. I'll see what the high tide is. Woo! Seeing birds picking bait out of the surf here. That's a very good sign. I'm telling you, it's a sign for yellowfin croaker. It's a sign for any number of species that are going to feed on that bait. So I might have to do that. We'll see what the high tide is. I believe it's afternoon today, which is just perfect. Get all my work done, hit the surf, go do Tackle Shop Confession, 6 p.m. tonight, live right here. Ask Sam De La Torre tackle-related questions or fishing-related questions or anything else that your little heart desires. You'll be able to do just that. So there it is. All right, things are looking good for not many boats out there was a lot to talk about. Pegasus bit here this morning, Independence with grade fishing. There's albacore rumors, like UFOs. We never get like a still shot or an angler holding the fish or somebody saying, here's where I'm catching them. There's this shroud of mystery surrounding it, which leads me to believe it's probably BS in terms of saying, yeah, go fish, but we'll find out as time goes on. I know the fleet, the boys I talked to in the fleet so far here this morning are saying, haven't heard anything about that, don't know anything about it. And those boys are way more plugged in than I am. They are completely plugged into what's circulating around out there. All right, Benjamin, once again, my best to you, Benjamin Morrison. And of course, all the kids out there, they come to the morning briefing every day. There are thousands of you. We're zeroing in on 4 million views. Can't thank you enough. And then millions of other views over on our social media. We just surpassed 450,000 likes on TikTok, and I owe that all to each and every one of you. We have more charters this year. 2-day trips on the Amigo, a 1-day trip on the Apollo out of Seaforth Sport Fishing, a trip that leaves at 6 in the morning, comes back at 6 p.m. on the El Patron out of 22nd Street Landing. You want that list? It's yours. Just send me a text here today, 657-227-6459. Don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you share these videos, comment, and subscribe to Friedman Adventures. It makes all the difference in the world. Don't forget that great 2.5-day trip, Horizon, August the 31st. I think that's going to be a good one with a light load. I am really tempted to look at my calendar and get on that trip. I would love to go out there and shoot that one. We'll see if I can do that. All right, an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful morning in Southern California, one where you must feel blessed. Whether you catch a fish or not, it's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day on the water. But there's going to be a lot of breaking news, and of course, we'll be covering it for you on our shorts here on YouTube, as well as TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Have a great day. Always appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to spend some time with me, and I hope to see you really, really soon. Take care, my friends.